So, I'm going to say this and just get it out of the way. And I'm going to move on my merry way because I don't want to hang on this all day. All right. But here we go. You ready? Did you notice something about the difference between the work ethic of myself and Kino Casino? Did you ever notice the big difference? That I'm here 6 days a week streaming full time, busting my ass, putting out content constantly for an audience. And they stream 3 times a week, not even a full day. And then they take tons of time off. And then they're constantly on vacation. And then they cancel shows. And then they're late. Do you ever notice that? Do you want to know why that is? Because you guys simp for them. That's why. Because you simp for the casino, you enable them to have that kind of shitty work ethic. You understand? If you didn't simp for them every stream and throw them thousands of dollars for simply turning the stream on, they would have to work. And they would have to work more. And they would have to work harder. And they would have to have better events rather than just the same old shtick. They would actually have to innovate instead of just doing the same thing every time they turn on their fucking streams. Do you get it? They'd have to work more than 3 times a week. Wow, what a novel concept. You'd get more content if you didn't simp out as much. Me, I bust my ass because I'm the blue-collar dude who never had giant popularity. I always was the underdog on YouTube. I always did things differently. I didn't get the sponsorships. I didn't get the ball suckers. I didn't get any of that. So I've always had to break my back to make a living. Now, here I am 17 years later, and I still break my back to make a living, but I'm happy, and I get to make content that I like, and I don't have anyone simping for me, quite frankly. Or I don't. I get people who are regulars who come by, but there's no one here who's like, oh, Phil turned on the stream. Here's $1,000 just because. If you guys would stop fucking simping, they would actually have to work hard. They don't right now because you keep giving them everything for nothing. So if you're like, man, I hate it when the casino goes on a vacation after vacation after vacation after vacation, you're the one who's giving them the vacation. Don't you get that? It's your reason that they're doing that. If you didn't give them so much for so little, then they would have to work. It's called cause and effect. It's pretty simple, but people don't seem to understand. I've been saying this about the games industry all along, too. If you don't reward lazy game devs for lazy work by simping and buying all their games, then they'll do better. How many people complain about how every Pokemon sucks, but then they buy every Pokemon anyway, and then they buy the merch, and then they buy the amiibo, and then they buy this? Well, they're never going to improve unless you force them to. If you keep simping for the casino, guess what? They're never going to improve. They'll always have the same content, only 3 days a week, delaying streams, canceling streams, bad work ethic, vacation after vacation. It will continue. It's direct cause and effect. I don't know why people don't understand that, you know? I just don't get it. But every time that I would see people would come on my streams and be complaining about the casino, they'd be like, why is the casino not streaming, Phil? I don't know. Maybe because last time they turned on their stream, you threw them thousands of dollars before they even said a word. Did you ever think about that? Like, now they don't have to work. Why are you a simp? I don't get it. Anyway, that's just the point. So, you know, I don't understand. It's like people just don't have common sense. They don't. They just don't have any common sense at all. And then they complain. And then, why are you complaining? You're the one that created the situation. It happens in the gaming world. It happens in the content creation world, right? Take a look at the direct difference, okay? You have supported me in droves way more in the last 8 months. We're hitting goals, right? We're doing constant special events, the return of DSP Tries It, the return of regular marathons that you get to choose what we're doing during them. We're doing special streams like Lego build nights. I'm constantly improving my setup. I'm buying things for the setup. I'm improving everything. Since you started supporting me more, all of the quality has massively improved. Like up, up, up. Correct? What has happened since you guys started supporting the casino more? They work less and they take more time off. Maybe you should think about that a little bit. But the point is, it ain't going to change because people simp because they're stupid. People don't simp for Darkside Phil. They come to Darkside Phil streams, they enjoy the content, and they say, oh, I really like this. I'm so happy that Phil sticks to his guns, hasn't changed, doesn't let others influence him. I'll support that. And so I really am kind of the blue-collar streamer. I do make a good living, but I have to bust my ass to get that living. You see, I don't have anyone who's kissing my butt, sending me ridiculous amounts of money for no reason. I have to actually earn it. That's the difference here, okay?